Hey everyone, today we're diving deep into the all-new 2026 Mercedes-Benz Eqe, a luxury EV that might just be the most refined electric sedan in its class right now. Whether you're curious about range, tech, comfort, or how it compares to rivals like Tesla or BMW, this video is for you. Let's start with what you see first, the design. The 2026 Eqe has that smooth, futuristic look Mercedes has been leaning into with its EQ line. It doesn't have a traditional grille. Instead, it features a clean, gloss black panel with the Mercedes logo front and center, surrounded by sleek LED headlights. The entire body has this sculpted, aerodynamic feel. It's smooth, it's elegant, and depending on your taste, maybe even a bit understated. But that's the point. It's not trying to be aggressive. It's trying to be luxurious, quiet, and efficient. Now, step inside and things start to feel very high-end, very Mercedes. The cabin is incredibly quiet, almost no road noise. And the materials are exactly what you'd expect from a luxury EV. Soft leather, brushed aluminum, real wood trims in some models. It all comes together beautifully. And of course, you get Mercedes' MBUX system. That's their voice-controlled infotainment setup. You can say, "Hey Mercedes," and ask it to change the climate, set a destination, or even tell you a joke. It works surprisingly well most of the time. You also have a large digital instrument cluster behind the steering wheel and a big center display for navigation, music, vehicle settings, and more. If you upgrade, you can get the optional Hyperscreen, which stretches all the way across the dashboard. It looks futuristic and it's packed with functionality. Rear seat space is decent, not massive, but plenty comfortable for two adults. Trunk space is about 11 cubic feet, good enough for luggage or grocery runs, though not the most spacious in the segment. But honestly, this car is about the ride, not hauling stuff around. All right, now let's talk about performance. The base model is called the Eqe 320 Plus, and it's rear-wheel drive with a single motor. It puts out 315 horsepower and 416 pound-feet of torque. It's not a rocket, but it's plenty quick, 0 to 60 in about 5.8 seconds. Then there's the 4MATIC version. That's all-wheel drive, dual motor, same horsepower but more torque, and a little quicker off the line. And then there's the AMG Eqe, for those who want the full performance experience. Over 600 horsepower, 0 to 60 in just over 3 seconds. That's serious performance even by EV standards. But most people will be looking at the 320 Plus model for its efficiency. Which brings us to range. One of the most important questions with any EV. Mercedes claims up to 308 miles of range on a full charge with the 320 Plus rear-wheel drive model. That's competitive. Real-world range, as always, will depend on how you drive, the weather, and whether you use things like climate control a lot. But overall, it's solid for a luxury EV in this price range. And charging? It supports up to 170 kilowatts on DC fast charging. That means you can go from 10% to 80% in about 30 to 35 minutes if you're at a good fast charger. And here's a nice update for 2026. The Eqe now comes with a built-in NACS adapter. That's Tesla's North American charging standard. So yes, you can now charge at Tesla superchargers, which makes a huge difference in practicality, especially in areas with fewer public chargers. When it comes to driving, the Eqe is all about smoothness. Acceleration is instant, as with any EV, but it's not harsh. The car feels balanced, planted, and incredibly quiet, even on rougher roads. It's not trying to be sporty, unless you're in the AMG trim, but it's very refined. The suspension soaks up bumps effortlessly. The steering is light but precise, and the overall ride is incredibly comfortable. Mercedes also packed the Eqe with driver assistance features. You get adaptive cruise control, lane centering, blind spot monitoring, automatic emergency braking, all the modern safety tech you'd expect in a luxury car. A lot of this comes standard, though some features may require optional packages. Now let's talk price. The 2026 Eqe starts around $66,000, which is actually lower than previous years. Mercedes adjusted pricing after seeing how competitive the EV market has become. That puts it in a pretty sweet spot compared to the BMW i5, Tesla Model S, and even the Lucid Air. Of course, once you start adding options, better wheels, the AMG line appearance package, upgraded audio, Hyperscreen, you can easily push the price over $80,000. But that's kind of expected in this segment. One thing to note is that Mercedes is reportedly winding down U.S. production of some EQ models, including the Eqe and EQS, by 2026. That doesn't mean this car isn't worth buying. In fact, it might become a bit of a collector's piece later. But it does mean if you're interested, this may be one of your last chances to get an EQE brand new from the factory. Let's talk pros and cons. On the plus side, this car is beautiful inside and out, incredibly comfortable and very quiet. The range is good, charging is fast, and you now have access to Tesla's charging network. The tech is advanced and the build quality feels solid. On the downside, it's not the roomiest EV sedan, especially in the trunk. Some people find the infotainment a little overwhelming with too many touch-sensitive controls. And if you're looking for something sporty or fun to drive, the base models might feel a bit too relaxed. So, is the 2026 Mercedes-Benz Eqe worth it? If you want a premium EV that feels like a true luxury car, not a gadget, not a science project, but a comfortable, well-built, refined driving experience, the Eqe absolutely delivers. It may not grab headlines like some flashier EVs, but it's one of the best balanced electric sedans you can buy right now. Let me know in the comments. Would you take the Eqe over a Tesla Model S or BMW i5? And would you go for the base 320 Plus or splurge for the AMG version? Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned. We've got more EV reviews coming your way very soon.